What's up, guys? I just got back from Magic the Gathering pre-release of Theros and did really well tonight. Went blue starter, ended up going blue-green, mixed it up, and I'm going to show you my deck. I did real well. Went 3-1 for the night, 7-3 for games. So I got to pick up some boosters, got some free boosters out of it, which is awesome. So I'm going to go and show you the deck I ran tonight so you guys can get a look at what Theros is looking like. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, so here's all the cards I got. We just got some boosters. I bought one of these. I got the other one the other night from Friday Night Magic, and then these are the boosters I picked up, which I will open at a later date. I'll open up later this week for you guys. But this is what I went. I went for the Path of Wisdom blue. And you get your little spinner. These are all the other cards I got from this pack. I picked up a bunch more. So just a whole bunch of cards. Commons, uncommons. I don't think I have any rares in here. Any of the rares I traded away. I got some good white rares, but I've already traded those in order to get some other stuff. And yeah, look at it, just foil island. It's awesome. So typically I don't play blue. Got a little spin down, or D20 as I like to call it. I typically don't play blue. I am more of a green kind of player. I like green. I'll dab a little bit with green-red, not red by itself, and I've dabbled a little bit with white. But I haven't played blue before, so I decided to get into it here. So let's go ahead and just split these up. So commons, uncommons. This deck did really well. I gotta say, I'm glad that Scry is back, because that's just amazing. I love Scry so much. That helped this deck do good, because I decided to build it on Monstrosities and Scry. That was my whole thing. Monstrosities, Scries, and just a lot of blue, unsummoned, put back on top of deck, put back in hand cards. So these are my commons. We got a 1-drop Death Touch, 2-drop, 2-2. Best part of this is you untap the creature. So you can attack with your creatures, and they'll swing at you thinking you don't have any blockers. You bring him out. Bam. That's another thing that they brought back. Put on top of library. Awesome. 2-drop creature. It's not that great as far as doing damage, but the Scry 2 is pretty awesome. Monstrosity, 5-drop, decent card, especially when you're playing sealed. That does well. Hexproof, 4/5, 5 or 6-drop. Put a card back in their hand. Scry back on top. Oh, this one's great. I love this common. You get to enchant creature. It can't be blocked, and whenever it attacks, Scry 1. That right there. That was fun. That was fun. Combined it with some of my rarer cards and did some damage. You already seen that. This one's pretty decent. It helps if you have multicolored decks, which I was running. I was running 2 colors, so I tossed this one in there, and it never came to use as far as I needed that color mana, and that was awesome. But being able to draw a card in addition to having that safety was awesome. And then that's just another common. Alright, let's get some uncommon action going on in here. We got the Ordeal of Thassa. I haven't been saying these names because they're so tough. I can't get all these names. I love this guy. I actually traded to get a second one of him because it's just useful. It's useful especially if you have the unblockable one that I showed you guys. You toss that unblockable one. Creature can't be blocked. Boom, you throw Ordeal of Thassa. The guy was already hexproof to begin with. It's just tough at that point. So you bring him out. You get to put counters on him every time he attacks, which make him stronger. And then once you get to 3, you go ahead and sacrifice this, draw 2 cards. Amazing for just getting more cards. The Horizon Chimera. Yeah, I shouldn't be saying these names. This guy's pretty decent. 3/2 isn't that grand for a 4-drop, but the flash was awesome. I really enjoyed the flash. And then his little special bonus is whenever you draw a card, you gain a life. So you can tell every turn I'm getting a life, which is cool, as well as if I draw any other cards from those things. So decent card. I enjoyed having it in there. Alright, Nemesis of Mortals. I left this guy in. He's a 6-drop 5/5 monstrosity. And this would be good in more of a mono green deck. I got a lot of cards that I didn't actually play in my set because I didn't have enough for mono green. There are a lot of uncommons and rares I didn't play. So I'm just going to show you what I have here in this deck that I ran. But this one's cool. Costs 1 less to cast for every creature in your graveyard. Same thing for Monstrosity. Even though it's a 9-drop Monstrosity, it's Monstrosity 5. So that would make him a 10/10. Pretty cool. And it costs 1 less to activate for every creature. Never got that benefit because this was a very low creature deck. Most of my creatures were heavy. In fact, I only had 2 creatures in this deck that were less than 4 drops, because I went super light for my creatures. Well, super light for my spells and heavy for my creatures. I love doing that combo. Just get a bunch of 2-drop, 3-drop, put back in your hand kind of cards. Those are great. And heavy creatures. It's a beautiful combo. Anyways, this is the last one. And this one, I kind of tossed him in there. I needed an extra card. It's decent. His best thing, you bestow him on somebody, and that creature gets +3/3, and every time this guy or the creature he's bestowed on, they deal damage to a player, you get to draw a card. So he was decent. I don't see him being in a deck for too long. It's a decent card. But I liked having him in there just for the mere fact that I would put him on a card that was already unblockable. So I gained a card. Decent, but replaceable. Alright, so these are my rares. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Curse of the Swine. Tossed this guy in here, and I'm glad that I did. I almost didn't run her, but I'm glad that I did, because everybody's running monstrosities in this game. You're going to have so many monstrosities, and if you don't get rid of them, they will really do damage to you. They will destroy your land. They will just destroy you, period. So I got 2 of them, lucky enough to pull 2, so I ran both of them, and I had multiple games. Last game I played, actually, the guy I was playing was undefeated, and I was able to win because he had 2. He had the white rare and the red rare monstrosities out there. One of whom was already like a 10-8 or a 6-8 monster at that time, and bam, boar, just like that. They're boars, 2/2 boars, no longer big creatures, and that was the game at that point. All right, so these are some of the guys I got. As you can see, a little foil with the date on it. This is the card that I got for picking blue. The Shipbreaker Kraken. Pretty sweet card, 6/6, tap 8 for monstrosity, and it's a 6-drop. And when he becomes monstrosorous, these names, you tap 4 cards, and they don't untap during their controller's untap step, as long as you control them, which is amazing. I love that. Got to use that once, and it was pretty sweet. Yeah, that was an awesome card. And then, of course, we've got the World Eater. This is the guy that made me go green. I came in here saying, hey, I'm going to try blue. I haven't ran it before. It just looks like fun. And as soon as I pulled him, this Mythic Rare World Eater, oh, this is amazing. So he's a 4-drop 5/5. Let alone, that is insane. That is great. And his monstrosity is unlimited. It's according to how much mana you put into it. And the downside is, I don't really like this special ability as much, but when he becomes monstrosity, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures the opponent controls. And then each of those deal power to him. So it is pretty good if you just target 1 guy or 2 guys, but it's not going to take out everyone, don't think that. But for just the mere fact he's a monstrositus for any amount, I mean, you can just make him a tiny monster, but that's great. This is just an amazing Mythic Rare card. I was so glad to get that guy. Nothing like having him and the Kraken out at the same time. Just, oh, it's amazing. So this is the final card that I got, and I actually didn't realize what it did until my last game, and I was pretty. I don't know. I was just glad I figured it out at that point, because that's what got me my final 2-0 crush. Was this guy, but I had him in my hand multiple times earlier in the night, but I just never played him because I didn't think he was worth it, so I was playing other stuff. But it's the Prophet of Krufix, and he's a rare, but the best thing about him is a 5-drop 2/3. But when you play him, now all of your creatures untap and all of your lands untap during each other player's untap step. So you play your cards. It's basically like both your creatures and your lands having vigilance. It's insane. You play them, and then you can play them again around the other team, and you can cast your cards as though they had flash. That is the final nail in the coffin. Having this guy out, I got to play him in a game, and I got to bring out both my World Eater, my Kraken, all the other monstrosities. I had 4 monsters on the field. Monstrosities with this guy, and you can get him out super fast when you have, basically you're taking your turn and then you're taking another turn while they take their turn. This is an amazing card. So that's the deck I ran, along with 17 lands. I did a 10-7 split, 10 blue, 7 lands, or forest cards, and it worked out really well. I had a great time with it, and I've only been playing for a month, so if I described any of these cards wrong, I'm sorry. But I've only been playing for about a month, and I've been learning as I go and having a blast. I've really just been enjoying this. So these are the cards. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I will open up these boosters later this week. I'm going to open them up. I made myself a deal. I got to write some papers, a whole bunch of papers. I'm going to get ahead in my semester. But I'll go ahead and knock all those out. And if you enjoyed watching this and you want to see more and you want to see me open up boosters, I really want to get into making Magic videos. I love it. This is my new hobby. This is what I do now. So hit the like button down below, subscribe if you would love to see more, and leave me a comment. I love to hear your feedback. Correct me on any cards I'm wrong, or just talk Magic. I love it. I love to read those comments and talk Magic because I love Magic. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.